And imagine trying to get a horse and cart up there to market. So they made this bridge, they flattened out an area, it was very wide, it worked wonderfully. Or would have done, I should say. They didn't use it because the bridge was cursed, allegedly. Death was the first thing to cross the South Bridge. The mayor's wife, who was the oldest lady in the city, had been asked if she would walk across the bridge for the first time. She agreed, she was very excited about it, and she died about a day before she was meant to do it. It was rather inconsiderate. A day didn't give them enough time to find somebody else to do it. What it did give them enough time to do was to find a horse and a wagon. They put the body on the wagon, they put the horse across the top of the bridge. People were gathered in the streets like we are now, because it wouldn't have had this lid to it, which is the pavement now. You would have been able to see it go over the top of what is now the road. And they saw this horse pull this corpse along the bridge, and people believed that it was a curse. There was nothing to do with it. And so death was the first thing to cross the South Bridge. For being pedantic, a horse was the first thing to cross the South Bridge, and then death, but you know. It was a curse. They didn't go over it, they didn't go under it. And that ticked off the castle, because this was no cheap endeavour. So what they did is, they shut off the bridge, they buried Nidri's wines, because they raised the ground level. In doing so, raising the ground level from where we stand to where we were standing, it makes Nidri's wine disappear. And well, it makes the bridge disappear. People have short memories. They were walking over this cursed piece of stonework like nothing had happened. Not 2 months later. Although, weirdly, Southbridge today has the most pedestrian accidents in all of the old town. So maybe the curse is still alive and kicking. Please be very careful when you walk about the old town. I wasn't just making it up for my own amusement. Now, there's a lot of weird noises going on out in the stairwell. Don't worry about that. We are the only people in here. There's nobody breaking around the corner to jump out at you, grab you, scream at you, anything like that. So set your minds at ease, because I'm about to show you this back corner, and I want you to agree with me that there's nothing up there. If you disagree with me, apart from, there's always one smart aleck that points out that there is a tub up there. Yes, there is. There's nothing weird. We've also got the year in amongst that. And then he told me what my grandmother's name was, when she died, and what her nickname for me was. At that point, I started to pay this child a little bit more attention than I had been. We got in here, and immediately he pointed into the back corner, said, "That's Annie, she's very upset, why is she upset?" And I was like, "I don't know, you'll need to ask her." But then his eyes sort of widened, and I've never seen a kid's eyes get so wide, because he said, "She's getting up. She's standing right behind you." And I was like, "Okay." He says, "She does this a lot. It's why whenever you're down here and you feel tingling on the back of your neck, that's what it is." And I was like, "Right, okay." Apparently she follows me because she likes to see what kind of groups I bring down here. She likes to make sure you're all behaving yourselves. So behave yourselves, because I don't know what she's going to do if someday somebody misbehaves. And, I'm going to head down that way. And if there's an old lady following me, that's fine. She's allowed to be there. But I don't need to know that she's there, all right, folks? Now, ladies and gentlemen, if I can have you down these stairs, please do watch your head, and just stay in this area here. Don't go any further than that just now, because I can't be held responsible. As you get down the stairs, you take a look at the top of the ceiling, because what you're going to see there is a window. It's a window that's actually embedded into the pavement, and it's, you can see people walking over the top of you from time to time. Haven't yet seen a man in a kilt, but fingers crossed. I once had to explain that joke to a very proper gentleman on my tour, who was around the time of the US election and hadn't taken kindly to my President Trump jokes. But we came in here and I'd said that joke, and he looked at me and he said, I don't understand it. And I said, well, in Scotland, to say you're a true Scotsman, you don't wear underwear under your kilt. And he looked at me and he went, why on earth would you want to see that? And I've never felt like such a pervert in all my life, ladies and gentlemen. Now, occasionally you're going to hear, it's not a loud bang, it's just a bit of a bang. If it's coming from this area, it is because somebody knows that we're down here, that has been on one of these tours, knows where that window is, and occasionally just likes to thump their foot on it, so please do not be alarmed if that happens in this area. If it happens anywhere else, be alarmed, because I don't know what's causing it. But on Niddry's Wind, when it was Niddry's Wind, when it wasn't encased like this, there were gambling dens, there were prostitute rings, you name some kind of debauchery, it was happening here. That's the reason they wanted to hide it. What they didn't realise in hiding it was they were creating soundproof spaces for things to continue even more underground than they already were. In 1738, there was a law passed in Edinburgh, in fact all over Scotland, that said the pursuit of a witch is now illegal because there is no such thing as witches. But I'm sure you know as well as I do that you cannot kill a thought. If somebody believes in something, you cannot kill that. They couldn't kill the idea that people were witches. They could remove the monetary incentive for torturing women, for thinking them witches, but you cannot remove the thought that that's what they are. And so the church got involved, as it tends to do, and it was able to carry out investigations into these women. They were not calling them witches, though, they were calling them demon-possessed, but it was the same thing. And they would take them down into this area because it is soundproofed. We kind of ruined that when we cut that place out to put the window in there, but apart from that, it's soundproof. And the most famous case that happened after the law was passed to say that witches don't exist anymore was of the Balfour family. The Balfour family came from Orkney. They were taken down into these vaults, Mrs. Balfour suspended from that very ceiling by her wrists and by her ankles. And she was tortured, and she didn't confess to being a witch. They tortured her husband by putting a starving rat on his stomach and bolting a cage over it, and then heating the cage up so the rat thought that it was on fire and it escaped. He didn't say that she was a witch. They then tortured the children, a 7-year-old boy and a 5-year-old girl. 7-year-old boy was given the boot. If you've not heard of the boot, it's a very weird thing. It keeps your leg at kind of that angle, although you are standing whilst it's happening, so you have to crouch with the other leg. Goes from the tip of your toe to about your mid-thigh. Metal thing, very uncomfortable. Would have been excruciatingly painful for a 7-year-old, just that. But it had gaps where you hammered in wooden dowels. And it broke the skin, and it broke the muscle, and it broke the bone. Fortunately for him, he died very quickly. Unfortunately for him, it was from a heart attack. They caused a 7-year-old boy to have a heart attack because of the shock of the pain. They then brought out the 5-year-old girl, and they subjected her to the periwinkles. The periwinkles are a very Scottish invention. They're a twist on the thumb screws. The thumb screws are what they sound like. They're little vices that go around this most sensitive part of your thumb, where your thumb hits the rest of your hand, and they tighten around that joint. The periwinkles have all that, and a spike that goes down the back of your fingernail. So as that tightens, the spike goes further down. You get the picture. We don't know how the little girl died, but we do know she died because she didn't confess that her mother was a witch. They then cut her down, killed her, and left 4 bodies in the middle of that space that you're standing in. They brought another witch down, and she immediately confessed because she did not want what happened to the Balfour family to happen to her family. When I tell this story, people tend to have one of 2 reactions to Mrs. Balfour. Either she was incredibly brave for not confessing, or she was incredibly stupid for not confessing, and she let her children suffer. There is a third option that nobody considers, and that is that she was an Orcadian. Orkney is a very far away island. It takes about a day to get to if you drive there and then take a ferry. Can you imagine how long it would have taken to get there in the 1700s? And it's only historically recently been part of the UK. It used to be part of Norway. Mrs. Balfour did not speak English. She did not speak Gaelic, and she did not speak the Doric, which is used on the east coast of Scotland. She spoke a dialect of Norwegian. She had no idea why she'd been taken down here, why her family had been taken down here. The family had no idea. They were tortured until they were dead because they were making a point. Sure, you've come across somebody that you don't speak the same language as at all. Very obvious, very quickly. But, well, like I said, you can't kill a thought. When we're down here, people seem to believe in that back corner there's a recessed doorway. They can feel not uncomfortable, but just like there's somebody watching them, making sure they're alright, keeping an eye on them, never leaves that area. But behind me, there's quite often people hear the noise of children running about and playing and giggling. And again, that's something I've never heard, because if I heard children giggling behind me right now, there would be a Jessie-shaped hole in the ceiling, because I would be leaving as fast as possible. But do just keep that in mind as we head through here. Now you'll notice that there's a rather ominous-looking black hole. We are about to head in there. It's got a low ceiling. Please be careful and watch yourself on this set. Your torch makes them look creepier. As most of you have noticed, we aren't alone in this vault. We have some friends. Now, if you think these are bad, oh goodness. Sorry, her head was attached the last time I was down here, which was an hour ago, so goodness knows what's going on there. They have a purpose, and I think that purpose is primarily to freak me out, because it's a well-known thing in this company that I do not like dolls. In fact, at Halloween my boss put a Chucky doll down here, because he thought that would be funny. I screamed. You never want your ghost tour guide to scream, trust me. But, thing is, they're not relevant to what I'm talking about tonight. I will bring them back up. But what I want to say is right now, we are in one of the arches of the bridge. We're right underneath the road. There's cars whizzing over our heads constantly. You can't beat it. And well, this room was used by the body snatchers. The body snatchers were men that went to graveyards, they dug up freshly buried bodies and they sold them to the university. And well, as warm as it is in here just now, can you imagine how much colder it gets in the winter? There's nothing to keep the heat in, and it is freezing. In fact, it can act almost like a fridge if you're needing to keep a body fresh. Now, the thing is, the body snatchers made a living from this. They got £10 a body, which is equivalent to about a month's wages. And the Surgeons Hall, the university needed these bodies to dissect, to further their medical knowledge. There is a reason that Edinburgh University, for a long time, was the top of its field when it came to medical research. They were only meant to get bodies from the gallows. I hope you don't know what a hanged body looks like. I'm not going to describe it to you, but let's just say it's not the best for wanting to do medical experiments on. And well, you weren't allowed to leave your body to medical science, so this is the only other way that they were going to get these bodies. In 1828, we executed 2 men. The Surgeons Hall dissected 68. So it was quite a lucrative business. They did keep their bodies in here from time to time. The only reason we know that is the first time that this room was ever excavated. 2 bodies were found in here that had DNA matches to tombstones that were in the graveyard already. They got permission from the family to exhume these coffins, and they were empty. So thankfully we were able to put them back into their coffins and rebury them where they should be. But like I said, none of that explains our little friends here. As sinister as they might look, they are here for quite a sweet reason. They are here for the Balfour children, because people believe that the Balfour children are still here. And if you're a child, can you imagine anything worse than this being where you have to spend your eternal resting place? These dolls are here. None of them, I must stress, were broken when they were put down here. So it does freak me out a little bit when they do get broken. So I'm not going to dwell on that too much. The Balfour children, like I said, people hear them playing, giggling, but in this room, women especially can feel like from their knees down, it's very, very cold. They can feel like their clothes are being tugged, like their hands are being taken. And well, gentlemen in this room, I think you probably get the raw end of the stick, because what people think, or people say the experience in here, male-wise, is stones being thrown at them. I don't mean like giant rocks, but I mean like pebbles being thrown at people. They can feel them hitting them, they can hear them bouncing off the walls in here. But do me a favour, folks, look at the floor. There are no loose pebbles down here for you to pick up and throw at people to make that kind of sound. And well, I'm sure you would see somebody, an actual person we hired, hiding in the shadows to throw things at you. Now, after telling you all that, and the fact that whenever I'm in here, my legs from the knees down always feel very cold, I don't want to stay in this room too much longer. If you want to come up and have a look at the dolls or take some pictures of them, you are very weird and very welcome to do so. If not, if you can just go out into that wee space that we were just in, just so that I can make sure I've got everybody out of this room. Nedry's wine. Yes. Yeah. It was like a street. It was just a street, like the little closes that come off the mile now, but it is completely, as you can see, completely bare now.
It's like quite freaky like.
Yes, because they're covered.
Oh man, my leg feels weird.
It was
My leg is feeling weird.
corners because they were meant to fill the ground to the ceiling with rubble, and they didn't. So, and they shouldn't, right? No. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, our time together has rather rapidly drawn to a close, so you're going to have to try and not miss me too much, alright folks? Now, if I can just squeeze you this, thank you. If you haven't been able to get a picture of anything down here that you want to, I'm not chasing you out, you are more than welcome to do so. If you want to leave as well, you are more than welcome to do so. But I just want to say you've been a fantastic group, so thank you for that. I hope you've enjoyed yourselves. I hope you've been entertained in some respect this afternoon. We're City of Edinburgh Tours, and we would be very much appreciative if you could leave us a wee review on TripAdvisor. Tell us what you thought of your experience today, and if you liked the tour, my name's on your ticket. My name is Jessie King, and if you didn't like the tour, my name is Jack. All right, so that's how to follow me.
Oh, it's cold here. I can feel cold but here.
Yeah, no, it's cold though.
Eh?
Oh, it's cold.
It's not cold at all.
Yeah, cold.
No, I'm not. It's just like a cold air.
I know, because it's cold.
It's not.
I'm wondering if I'm back down here again.
It's not that freaky. Oh, I wonder what's in here. Jeez. Oh God.
Oh, man.